Alright guys, after Djokovic's third round win at the Australian Open 2024 against Thomas Echeverry, he had to say something about Federer disliking him. I can't share much information because you guys will have to have a listen for yourselves. But yeah guys, that's it from me. Please be sure to subscribe and drop a like to the channel. Thank you.
Like your best in this match?
No, but I played better than I did in the first two rounds, so that's a positive change, I guess, starting to feel better and game-wise and physically as well. So it's positive signs, but I still haven't been playing at my best.
You yourself have been involved in very late matches here before, and obviously Medvedev's match went incredibly late last night. Do you and other players have concerns that this is still not being addressed?
I think it is addressed, to be honest. I mean, I know that Grand Slams have had conversations about this, but they obviously try to start the tournament a day earlier, and etc. But it's the daily schedule and the time of the matches are scheduled. That is a problem, obviously, when you have men's playing best of five. It can happen as it did, last night with. Day matches, they went 5 sets, and then Medvedev again started, 11 p.m. It's not the ideal situation to be in, that's for sure. I don't know, I mean, I don't see Grand Slams on main courts, particularly on the center court, changing the format of having day matches and night matches, because that's how they sell their tickets, that's how they commercialize, that's how they promote. I just don't see it being one session the entire day. That would help, I think, for the players, definitely, because then we would have an extra maybe few hours in some days, if it starts at 11 or 12, and then depending on how many matches are scheduled. I guess the other option is scheduling one less match on the center court as well. But then, it's I'm sure that Grand Slams are taking a lot of different possibilities in the equation, in the consideration. So that's all I can say.
Can we have one per person, please? We go too many people.
Moment of the match, we can see you very frustrated or uncomfortable with your game or with some shots. I would like to know, in that particular moment, which is the thing that you talk by yourself, what is the plan in your mind to change that, to keep focus and having the control of the point?
Well, it's not always a positive pep talk. There's a lot of trash talk happening inside of my head. That I guess it's part of the game. It's part of who I am, and I'm quite certain that everyone goes through their crisis moments, particularly in the matches where they don't feel their best and, they have doubts. Question is how you overcome those doubts and focus on being in the present and trying to get the most out of yourself for the next point. I do have extrovert kind of personality. I show my emotions, not always, but it does happen when I show the bad side of my emotions. It's ugly and it's not something I enjoy, but it is what it is. I'm trying to fight the demons that I have as anybody else, on the court, and sometimes it works better, sometimes not so great. So you just have to accept the circumstances, and depending on how you feel against certain opponent on the given day, sometimes you just wake up not feeling great, and you start to doubt that you can win a match or play well, and those are some of the things that you have to deal with mentally during the match.
Noticeable you still had a bit of a runny nose out there tonight. Do you know exactly what it is and how much is it affecting you, and have you had a COVID test since you've been involved?
I haven't had a COVID test. It's kind of a regular viral infection that I've been through. Now it's in the last stages and still have some secret coming out, and that's all it is.
ever, when you start a Grand Slam, sort of a little slow by your own admission, do you ever have doubts that it's not going to come for you during the fortnight?
What exactly? Sorry, that it's not going to
You know,
come.
that the higher quality that you so often bring as the tournament goes on. Do you have doubts that maybe this time it's not going to be there?
You mean like going all the way through, or just performing well on a given night, or?
That you're not going to find your rhythm. That you're not going to find it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been I've been going through that very scenario every match here. So I'm really relieved and glad that I played the way I played, and felt the way I felt tonight. I mean, definitely much better than what was the case in the first two matches. So yeah, coming into the tournament, I haven't really felt great health-wise, physically, and also game-wise. So it's all connected, obviously, and so I haven't had a best out of the tournament in terms of the quality of tennis, but I'm in the fourth round. So, you know, I believe that things will progress as the tournament goes on, and that's the case tonight and today. So hopefully every day will be better.
Wondering, because you could play Shelton in the next round potentially, and I saw comments about him at the U.S. Open and the respect. And I was wondering, you obviously, when you first came on... Oh, okay, well, still I'm curious for this question. When you first came on tour, you had a big personality also, and were very expressive. And I'm wondering if there were ever any older players who ever made criticisms to you or gave you advice to do things that made you want to change your behavior. And if there's ever a moment that you can think of when someone else in the sport made you rethink things.
It's a good question. I mean, I think I know certainly the Federer didn't like the way I was behaving, you know, at the beginning. I think I didn't sit with him well. I don't know about the others. I guess I wasn't the favorite type of guy to some of the top guys, because I was you know, not afraid to say that I want to be the best player in the world. You know, I was I was confident, and I felt like I have the game to back it up. But I never, ever lacked respect. And whenever I start a match, before the match or finish the match, I would always greet the opponent, always acknowledge. So respect is something that I was taught that needs to be present. Regardless of, you know, what is happening, but, you know, obviously on the court a lot of things can happen in a kind of a heat of a battle. But you know, it was a very long time ago now, 20 years since I made my first debut, I think, on the professional tour. So it's really hard to to say, you know, who liked me more or less. But I think I named one, so I don't know. I can't recall others.